What's up guys, it's James Allen, the Out-of-State Investor, and in today's video I have some serious updates on stimulus checks, stimulus packages, along with all the details of a brand new stimulus proposal that would basically pay everyone, including children, so you aren't going to want to miss out on this one. So first I'm going to give you a quick update regarding stimulus checks and when you can plan on getting yours. Secondly, I'm going to give you the latest news regarding the $2,000 a month stimulus bill that's been proposed by Congress. Thirdly, I'll break down the brand new proposal that's being put forth by Congress that might rival that $2,000 a month stimulus bill. And last, I'll touch on the latest $484 billion package that just went into law and how you might be able to claim up to $10,000 of free money. But before I break this down, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date with all the latest stimulus news, or if you just like all things personal finance and real estate. Now with that said, let's get started. Alright guys, so we got proposals on proposals on proposals at the moment. It seems like these days everyone's got an idea that they want to put into law. But before I get into all those proposals, I have some updates regarding stimulus checks. So stimulus checks started getting mailed out as of this last Monday, April 20th, and these are the physical ones to anyone who made under $10,000 a year. Now next week they will be mailing checks to anyone who made between $10,000 and $20,000, and the way they're scheduling the checks is in $10,000 increments. So if you take a look at the payment schedule, you can see the following week will be for those who make between $20,000 to $30,000, then $30,000 to $40,000, and so on and so on. They're printing these checks as fast as they can, apparently printing 1 million checks a day and 5 million a week, and because of the sheer volume of paper checks that need to get mailed, it's probably going to take until September before all the checks are finished mailing out. So if you want to take a look at this schedule, you can see when you'll be getting a check. The actual payment schedule can be found on Forbes.com, and I actually included the direct link below in the description. And remember, the way that they're determining your income is based on what your adjusted gross income was on your tax forms, which you can find on line 8B on your 1040 tax form. So maybe you didn't qualify for these stimulus checks because your 2018 or 2019 tax returns showed too much income. Well, if your income dropped this year in 2020 and your new income would qualify for the stimulus checks, well, reports are saying that you can actually claim that money as a refundable tax credit for next year's taxes. Now, a quick reminder that to qualify, you actually need to make less than $99,000 as a single filer, less than $136,500 as head of household, and less than $198,000 as a married couple. This also applies to you if you just had a baby in 2020. You can claim that refundable tax credit on your next tax return. Now, aside from that, some of you are receiving your federal benefits and still wondering when you're going to receive your stimulus money. Well, if you're receiving Social Security, survivor benefits, or SSDI, then you should receive your direct deposit no later than May 1st. Anyone receiving SSI should be receiving their money in their account sometime early May, and for anyone receiving veterans benefits, unfortunately, those stimulus checks have been delayed, and they're still trying to determine a specific date when those payments will go out. Now, I have an update regarding these newly proposed $2,000 a month stimulus checks. So for those who aren't already up to date, Congress is proposing this new bill called the Emergency Money for the People Act. Now, if this passes, it would provide a $2,000 a month stimulus payment to every American adult ages 16 and older that makes less than $130,000 a year. Now, if you're a married couple making less than $260,000 a year, then you would get $4,000 a month. And finally, if you have children listed as dependents, you would get $500 for each one with a maximum of no more than 3 children. Now, these payments are tax-free and would last for a minimum 6 months and will keep going until the economy recovers to the point where employment to population ratio hits over 60%. Also, anyone receiving Social Security benefits, or even if you're unemployed, were listed as a dependent on tax returns, or receive no income at all, you would still qualify for this $2,000 a month. Well, since this bill has been introduced, there's been some more talks about this bill, and Congressman Tim Ryan, who is one of the sponsors of this bill, said, and I quote, "Members on both sides of the aisle are finally coming together around the idea of sending money out to people." So this sounds a little generic, but the way I'm reading into this is it means that they're open to more money, but the big question is, are both parties open to $2,000 a month? Now, to disperse the payments, they've decided to incorporate payment services like Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle in addition to direct deposit and paper checks. Now, this would help speed up the process of these payments if this bill ends up passing. Now, that's the latest on this bill, but just as this one has gotten a lot of attention, there's another brand new proposal that's also being pushed by Congress that would rival this bill and possibly stop it from getting passed. This new bill that's being proposed is the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, also being referred to as the ABC Act. Now, this bill was proposed by Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal, and this proposal is similar in a way to the $2,000 a month stimulus bill. However, it does have some major differences to make it stand out. So let's take a look at what exactly is being proposed with this bill. The main goal is to give every American a Boost debit card that is preloaded with $2,000. The card would then be reloaded with $2,000 every month during the COVID-19 crisis, and then once the crisis is over, it would be reduced to $1,000 a month until 1 year after the COVID-19 crisis is over. The reason that they're looking to use these preloaded debit cards is because there's approximately 14.1 million American adults who currently don't have a bank account. So this would be a way to get everyone paid regardless of if they have a bank account or not. So the way this bill is written is it wants to make sure that every single person is taken care of. So this includes people like taxpayers, dependents, non-citizens, any Americans living overseas, and anyone living in unincorporated territories or protectorates like Puerto Rico, Guam, or US Virgin Islands. Also, anyone who doesn't have a social security number, bank account, or permanent address will still be covered under this as well. So anyone fitting those descriptions, which is basically everyone, would get a prepaid debit card with $2,000 loaded on it. So the way this would work is the Treasury would distribute these prepaid cards either by mail, in-person pickup, or through at-risk outreach. Now, at-risk outreach would be for those who are homeless, elderly, live remotely, or are disabled, whereas anyone with their address registered with the IRS or any other government agency would receive it through the mail. Now, if you don't have a permanent address, then you could do the in-person pickup as an alternative. So once you finally have the debit card, you could use it like any normal debit card, which means that you can make purchases online, at a gas station, at any local stores, plus you could even withdraw cash from them just like using an ATM. In fact, any card holder would also have the ability to add money to their balances during or even after the crisis is done. So let me give you an example scenario of how this might look for an average family. If you're a family of 5, let's say 2 adults and 3 kids, well, every single person would get a $2,000 prepaid debit card, meaning that your family would get a total of $10,000 with each card getting reloaded every month. Now, this means that after the initial amount, your family would get their cards reloaded $5,000 a month up until 1 year after the crisis ends. So as you can see, this is a much more aggressive bill compared to the other $2,000 a month bill because the dependents are also getting these prepaid debit cards. Now, when it comes to non-citizens, let me explain exactly what they mean by that. This means that anyone who's a permanent resident, any temporary visitors who are staying longer than 3 months, as well as anyone that's undocumented would get access to these prepaid debit cards. So it's extremely inclusive, more so than any other bill we've seen so far. The other major update I have for you is that the new $484 billion package has just officially gone into effect. Now, this just passed the Senate on Tuesday, it passed the House last Thursday, and now it's officially been signed into law by President Trump. So this package is an amendment that was made to the CARES Act, which is also going to provide an additional $310 billion towards the PPP, or Paycheck Protection Program, along with $60 billion towards EIDL loans and grants. Now, I have all the specific details with this bill in a recent video I posted, and to watch that, just click the link above or below in the description. But to give you a quick summary, the PPP gives small businesses and self-employed individuals a forgivable loan of 2.5 times your payroll, but it comes with the requirement that you must keep your employees on payroll for 8 weeks and use 75% of the funds towards that, with the remaining funds being used towards other operating expenses. Secondly, you have the EIDL, which stands for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Now, the main one I want to focus on with this product is the EIDL grant, or emergency advance. This program allows you to claim up to $10,000 of literally free money as long as you have a small business. And by small business, I mean you could even be an independent contractor or even just have a small side hustle. So you could be an Uber driver, real estate agent, or even sell random things on eBay. You also do not have to have an LLC, and you do not need to have any employees to qualify. You can simply be a sole proprietor and you will get some of that money. Now, you may not get the full $10,000 because the way they're paying everyone, and this is from personal experience and from what I've researched, is they're actually paying people $1,000 per employee in their business. So for me, since I'm a sole proprietor in my real estate business, I only got $1,000. But if you have 5 employees, then you'll likely get $5,000. And if you have 10 employees or more, then you'll likely get the full $10,000. The website you're going to want to go to apply for your EIDL grants is sba.gov, and you probably won't find it if you look right now. It probably won't be live till Monday or Tuesday. And for the PPP, you can just apply through your bank. Now, they've announced that the PPP will be opening again on Monday, so take full advantage of this because once they're out of money, that could be the end of it. It's on a first come, first served basis. So with that said, that's the latest of what's going on. There isn't really anything new to report about the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, but once I get updates on that and with anything else, I'll be sure to give you guys the latest update. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest stimulus news, then definitely subscribe to the channel. And if you felt today's video brought you some value, then go ahead and smash the like button and let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to reply. Lastly, follow me on Instagram at the Out of State Investor. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.